Hi everybody, Sean Holsinger here from HolsingersFlyShop.com. Today I'm going to tie something a little bit different for you. I'm going to tie a jig fly. This is one we're going to use for steelhead. It's going to be a steely blue steelhead jig fly. The hardest thing about tying this fly is probably finding the hooks for them. These hooks are a little bit hard to find. This one I'm actually tying in a size 10. That's the hook I have handy here. And I have a 1/8 inch slotted jig head bead. Okay, as you see there, it rolled back the line there. It fits on. There's a slot in the front which will flip right up into that eye and fit right into that eye slot there. And I'm just going to make a couple wraps in front of it and then one down behind it to hold it in place. And then I'm going to wrap my thread back to the back. And the purpose of this fly, this is your bottom fly on your nymph leader. So we're going to weight this pretty good. And you got the bead on there already. It's a pretty big bead. We're going to add some lead to it. I'm just using 0.010 size lead. We're just going to wrap this up to the bead. This is good nymph. If you get this in a smaller hook, this is great for like high stick nymphing. This is the kind of bead this is the kind of nymph you want to put as your bottom fly to get you straight to the bottom. You get lots of weight to shoot you straight to the bottom. We're going to tie this one in some steelhead colors. It's a really popular color. A lot of the material we sell at the shop is blue for your steelheaders. So we're going to just give you another steelhead option here. Now I like to tie that bead into place the way I showed you tying it upside down. It's a little bit easier to fit it on that way, and then I'm going to just pop it back in the vise the right way. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to tie this lead down into place. Make it nice and smooth here. We're going to come back and we're just going to get a nice transition from the bend of the hook up onto the lead. We want a nice smooth transition there for when we put the body material on. And that's pretty good looking there. Okay, the next thing we're going to add is our tail. For our tail, I'm using a blue guinea feather. Okay, what I'm going to do for my tail is I'm going to take, guinea feathers are pretty big here. I'm going to get the marabou off the bottom of it. It's easier to see there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fibers, about 10 or so fibers off the side. And you see how long these guinea fibers are. They're pretty long fibers. We're going to set that feather aside for a little bit later here. And we're just going to pinch our tail, get it where we want it, center it on the hook. And it's about good. This is a bigger fly. We're going to have a little bit bigger tail on it. And you don't want it bigger than the body, but since this is a size 10 hook, it's going to be bigger than the tails I'm used to tying. Okay, we'll just trim that off and, like I said, blend that in again. Okay, now we're going to put on some ribbing. Use a piece of gold brassy ultra wire. I'm going to put it on the side and tie it down. And the next thing I'm going to use is a piece of Senyo Wacko Hackle in blue. Okay, you can get this stuff from us as Senyo Wacko Hackle, or you can get it at your local embroidery shop. It's in with the embroidery thread that, like, you make friendship bracelets out of and stuff like that. It comes in 6 strands in one piece. And so what I'm going to do, you see there I separated 3 of them out. I'm going to take 3 of those strands, and I'm only going to use 3 of them. I'm going to pull it apart. And I'm going to tie 3 of those strands down on top here. Gonna give you some flash in your fly. Okay, we're gonna wrap that forward. We're going to wrap this about 2/3 of the way up, maybe a little bit further than 2/3. Not much. And about there's good. We're going to tie this off. Maybe about 3 or 4 tight wraps here. Cut these off. Like I said, just the hardest thing about this fly is going to be finding them hooks. Now we're going to just wrap up our ribbing on here, our gold rib, so you can see it. Just started tying on the jig heads. I have a blue Prince nymph that I use with a fair amount of success up in Erie fishing for steelheads. And the blue color, they say, is the last color that the salmonoid family, as they go to spawn, their body is shutting down and their eyes shut down just like everything else. The blue color is supposed to be the last color of the spectrum that a fish sees before it dies. So that's why blue is supposed to be such a popular color among the steelhead and salmon fishermen. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this guinea feather that we took earlier. I'm going to strip about the same amount off. We're going to, because you can see how long the fibers are on this, way too long to make hackle. What we're going to do is we're going to strip about 10 or 15 fibers off the side here. We're going to keep them all nice and even when we do it. And we're going to make our hackle out of this by, we're going to bunch them up. Okay, like I said, about 10 or 15 of them. And we're going to just sit it on the side, get it to the right length we want it for our hackle, which is just about the end of the body. And then I'm going to press and hold it on the side, and I'm going to do a soft loop there. Get it into place. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to take another clump about the same size. Try to get it the same size. We're going to do that on the other side. And instead of, since we don't have this hackle, since I don't have a blue hackle in the size I want, you know, to make a nice even wrap, this is the way we can get around doing that, by wrapping it on the sides like we're doing here. And then as you pull it tight, it will pull it around the body. And you get nice coverage around there. So we're going to trim off our tags. Just clean this up a little bit. Okay, now you can see there's, I got my hackle wrapped around there. It's just a way of cheating to get your hackle on there. And now we're going to come in with some Steely Blue ice dubbing. Show you that there. This is popular stuff here at the shop. We go through this stuff a good bit. Seems like as soon as we order it, we're selling it. We're just going to dub some of this on our string. I like to wet my fingers to get this. I don't use a lot of wax. I mainly just wet my fingers. Alright, we're just going to dub that on there, not too thick. Just going to cover this all up. And then come in and make our head. And make it a little collar there. I'm going to whip finish this off. And that is all that's to our Steely Blue steelhead jig. Like I said, very simple fly to tie. And It'll be very effective up on Steelhead Alley, out for steelheads out west, wherever you fish for them. Blue's a very popular color and a very good nymph for getting you down onto the bottom. It's a very heavyweight fly with that bead and the lead in there. Hope you enjoy this fly. If you do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at Holsinger's Fly Shop. And as always, the stuff that we use to tie these flies with, you can get at our website, holsingersflyshop.com. Thanks again for watching. I'm Sean Holsinger.